Hey guys, in this video for UModeler X, we're going to take a look at some of our UV tools. We're going to take a look at our alignment group and our weld and break group. All right, so I have a mesh here, and the mesh I'm using is this one here. I've already applied a cube unwrap to this object, and so this object is also made up of a few different islands, as you can see, and these are the islands here. Awesome. So the first tool we can play with in the alignment is auto. So what I'll do is go ahead and select all of the faces of, say, these four islands, and if I hit auto, it's going to bring these guys together and it's going to center them based on the center of all of the items, right? So for instance, if I select all of these and I hit auto, it's already centered in that case. But for instance, if I were to take, say, this one and kind of bring it a little down like so, and then I select all of these and then hit auto, as you can see, it automatically centered them based on each other's center point. Awesome. So there's that one. All right. So another tool is the quad tool. So this one's interesting. So what the quad tool is ultimately going to do, it's going to align the currently selected UV faces based on the shape that we have selected. So for instance, if I select this face here, now if you notice, these faces are all a little different. So what I'll do is hit quad, and as you notice, they're now all going to be based on the same size of that one. So if I do that to say this one, it should change it a little bit more. So if I were to say, do something really crazy and you have some type of weird thing going on, but you're like, oh, I need all of these faces to be more like this one, you can do quad and kind of pop those guys and make them, force them to this particular size. And the next one we're going to take a look at is the boundary. I don't use this one personally that much, but the way it's described is if you were to select a face here and you want this face to be sorted based on the selected UV face, for instance, so I'm going to select this face here and then select the next face, for instance, say this one, and then hit boundary, it's going to sort it based on that. I don't use this one that much. I use kind of more of the traditional UV's tools, but you may find it useful. Let's see. The next one is alignment. So alignment, let's see here. This one here is actually pretty cool, right? So for instance, if I select some vertices, and I'll select these three here for demonstrations. So if I do left, you're not going to see a change. If I do center, you're not going to see a change, or right. But if I do top, you'll see all of these vertices are going to align itself to the top. If I do center, if I go back and I do center, it's going to align them to the center. And if I go bottom, it's going to align them to the bottom. Now, if I were to select this row, for instance, and I do the left, it's going to left align, center, and then right align. So for instance, if you want to do something like this, you could center everything there. You could do top. So this could be useful, I believe. So for instance, say you have a bunch of like vertices that are kind of off, like naturally this cube is pretty straight, but if you may actually have something like this, and you're like, I kind of need these to be all a straight line. So you could, theoretically, you could just say, you know what, I need all of these to be straight. So what you would do is take these and say, align these to the top, and then take these and align these to the top, right? And you can say, oh, you know what, I need these to be straight too. So you can take these and align to the left, and you can say, take these, align these to the left, and so on and so forth. So you can start straightening out your verts here. There's so many different ways to probably approach this, but this is how the alignment options work. And then next, you can have your spacing here. So for instance, if we want to do spacing and we want these to be evenly spaced, you can select that one. And if you want these to be evenly spaced, you can select that and they'll move a little bit, but let's just do something a little bit more obvious. So let's move this guy here and move this one like so. Move this over to the right a little bit. So these three here are not evenly spaced, and we want to do them horizontally. So we select that. That's going to kind of give them a more evenly spaced there. And if we want these to be evenly spaced, horizontal, then we can go ahead and do that as well, and do the same thing to the here. Yep. And then we can also then go in and do, say, a center and center those. We can center these and start working with your UVs properly. So this is a really good way to go about that. All right, let's see if I can get this one. Boom, there we go. So next, what we're going to take a look at is the weld and break. It's pretty straightforward for the most part. It's basically sewing edges together. Let's see if we can get this right the first time. So we have the sewing. So if I select an edge, say I'll select this edge, and we see that this is highlighted blue. So if I select this edge, what it's doing is aligning that with the connection. So it's sewing it to where it would be. Now, for instance, if I want to move and sew, it's going to move that object over there as well. Now, if you want to do weld to first, you can do that, but let's actually use verts to do that. So for instance, if we're going to select this one and then select this one, we're going to weld to the first one. So this vert here should move to that one because that was the first object that was selected, right? So if we weld to the center, it's just going to take those two and we're going to weld those two together. And then weld to last is selecting the last one that was selected, right? So it's going to weld it to the last. A really super useful weld and break tool for me that I use pretty often is the detach tool. So for instance, if you want to detach anything, you can select, say, a face or two or three actually, and you can hit detach, and now you can actually separate that if you need to. Because obviously in some cases you're going to get something like this, but if for any reason you need to actually move that face somewhere else or whatever it is that you're UVing, you can say, you know what, I need to detach it. I'm just going to hit detach, and there you go. Yeah. So that's pretty much the tools in a nutshell. They're pretty straightforward. Everyone's going to use them differently. This is just more of a general understanding how to use them, knowing where they're at, and going forward with that. So other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay up to date with the latest features and updates by hitting the subscribe button and clicking the notification bell. More exciting content is coming, so you wouldn't want to miss out. See you soon.